Good morning, Corpus, Christi, Coastal Bend, and listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to another edition of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I am your host, James Espinosa, joined alongside my best friend, Adin Ducker.
What's Gucci with it?
It's just us today in the studio, and you all, of course, out there in the Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend area. And we have a packed show for you today. It is episode 135, and it's going to be an intense one because we're going to get you ready for Cowboys and 49ers tonight. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and 49ers. It's finally here, the much-anticipated contest. The 49ers, who have knocked out the Cowboys the past two playoffs in a row in the divisional round and one time in the wild card round. That is going down tonight. And you can listen to that right here on News Talk KEYS. We also have some college football talk. We do have Major League Baseball postseason action. The Astros and Rangers both won yesterday. We'll break that down to the best of our abilities. We do have NFL Pick'em coming up with Alex Weister at 10:30. We have some NFL headlines and more for you. And also, Aiden, I do have some Spurs news to pass along to you guys because training camp has opened up and the Spurs actually signed one of the pieces to their young core to a new 5-year contract. We'll talk about all that and more right here on the Sunday Sports Rush. Get in on the text line, 361-882-5397, 361-882-5397. The question of the day, give me your predictions for Cowboys versus 49ers tonight. What is your bold takes? What is your predictions for Cowboys and 49ers tonight on Sunday Night Football? Who wins the game? Who steps up? Does Dak Prescott play the best game of his life? Or will we see Dak Prescott falter under the pressure of a big game? What is it going to be with the Cowboys tonight against the 49ers? I want your predictions. Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. We'll get to your answers throughout the show. But right now, let's go ahead and start segment one with the Red River rivalry that happened yesterday afternoon up in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. Final score, the Oklahoma Sooners defeat the Texas Longhorns 34-30. Oklahoma improves to 6-0 on the season. Meanwhile, the Texas Longhorns fall to 5-1 on the year.
I feel like this song is it's too happy for what transpired for you.
Yeah, but it's just right. It's just right in my opinion.
I would play the Texas fight song, but
there's nothing to fight about.
Yeah.
And look, we're going to recap it right now. So if you have any thoughts on Texas, if you have any thoughts on the game, hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. But yesterday's game was wild. Absolutely insane from start to finish. Quinn Ewers threw an interception on the second play of the game. That wasn't good. Dillon Gabriel, quarterback for Oklahoma, he had probably the game of his life yesterday.
Yeah, he sure did.
23 of 38, 285 yards passing, one touchdown. But I think more importantly than that, it was the legs of Dillon Gabriel that did it because he had 14 carries for 113 yards on the ground, one touchdown, and he had a long run of 44 yards. He averaged about 8 yards on the ground against this Texas defense. This Texas defense, and I said it last week, I said line Texas up against Georgia, against Michigan, against any team on a neutral field, and it's a coin flip game. And I still... No, I'll still stand by that.
Really?
Because yesterday against that Oklahoma team, it was a coin flip game. It could have gone either way. Texas was in it all the way to the end, but Texas's defense failed them when they needed them the most, especially on that last drive when Texas was up by 3 points and they needed to get one more stop, and Oklahoma had no timeouts.
Yeah.
None.
And I think it was like a minute and change.
And the thing, a minute and change, about a minute 22 left in the game. And the thing about that drive, it was a 5-yard drive for 75 total yards. Texas was absolutely obliterated on that drive. And Texas played prevent/conservative defense. They did not play an aggressive style defense on that last drive, and they left a lot of room for that Oklahoma defense to operate. That's a game killer.
I've always said prevent defense is the worst defense to have in a late game situation. That every time I see it, I just weep.
It started off with a Gabriel pass to Drake Stoops for 11 yards. A Gabriel pass to Jaleel Farouk for 16 yards. A Gabriel pass to Drake Stoops for 28 yards, which put Oklahoma in the red zone. And then there was a pass interference call, which put Oklahoma in first down range right on the 3-yard line. And then Dylan Gabriel, of course, found Nick Anderson in the back of the end zone for the game-winning touchdown.
Gabriel launches, touchdown, Nick Anderson.
The place went absolutely haywire because they scored in the Oklahoma side of the Cotton Bowl. And Dylan Gabriel, that is a life-altering, that is a career-defining drive for him. 5 plays, 75 yards. You're down by 3 in the game against Texas, and you come away, and you're going to live in Oklahoma lore. Everybody who's an Oklahoma fan is going to remember that Dylan Gabriel drive. Everybody who's a Texas fan is going to remember how the Texas defense just came out flat in the front.
Yeah, and I feel like you're placing a lot of blame on the defense, and they deserve most of the blame, but UT's offense, especially in the first half, left a lot of opportunity on the field.
Now, I'm going to get to the UT offense because Quinn Ewers, despite him connecting on 19 consecutive passes at one point during the game, there was a point where Quinn Ewers was looking sharp, and the Texas wide receivers were getting open. They were finding space against that Brent Venables defense. There was moments where Texas looked brilliant, and one of the moments I thought they looked brilliant was whenever Jonathan Brooks had his long touchdown run, which tied the game at 27-27 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I thought for sure Texas had this game in hand after this Jonathan Brooks touchdown.
Williams had a big afternoon. Made the pick early. Now Brooks makes a cut in space. Brooks accelerates. Texas touchdown.
Jonathan freaking Brooks is his name. 22 carries, 129 yards, and that touchdown run, which tied the game. And I thought Texas was going to win it because the defense did shine for a little bit in the second half. But we're going back to the offensive struggles. And some of the play calling by Steve Sarkisian, it happened again, Aiden. And that you've criticized Sark about this, and you've been right about this, and I'm going to give you your flowers about this. But Sark and his play calling and some of his more conservative moments reared its ugly head again, and it reared its ugly head again in the second half, the third possession of the second half, when the Longhorns ran 3 consecutive jumbo package plays from the 1-yard line, and they were stuffed by the Oklahoma defense. They run a little screen route to Xavier Worthy on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
He gets stuffed. Just the predictability from Sark on those 3 consecutive plays. They had Tavondre Sweat out there. They had another one of the big guys out there. It's escaping me right now. I think Byron Murphy was probably out there. They lined them up, and they tried to run Brooks up the middle. They did a little pitch as well on one of the plays. Stuffed by the Oklahoma defense.
One of those plays has to go in the end zone.
Yes.
Well, it has to be a throw in the end zone at least.
So you do it 2 times in a row, right?
Right.
And then the same package is out there for third down. Oklahoma knows what's coming. They're overloading the box. There's more guys than you can block because they're all anticipating the same run. Would have been a perfect time for a Quinn Ewers bootleg.
A play action.
A play action with a fullback tight end, I don't know, drifting out into the flat. Nothing. Sark, I don't know what happened on that third down, on that series of plays, but damn, dude, that was bad, and I felt that right there was a complete game changer.
And it's not like, I mean, and then Oklahoma gave UT opportunities as well. They had a bad the pump block in the first half.
That's true.
The missed field goal that would have put them up by 10, which gave a little bit some life to UT. It's not like Oklahoma was out there like it was just a tightly contested game with mistakes made on both sides.
It was a dogfight, and it was a classic Red River rivalry type of game. And you and I had been talking And Aiden, you said in our group chat, you said that these games never disappoint.
Last year was an anomaly, and Brent Venables got this team going like a year quicker than I thought they would.
And shout out to Brent Venables. Shout out to Jeff Lebby, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. They outcoached Steve Sarkisian and defensive coordinator for Texas, Pete Kwiatkowski. I thought Venables had that team ready to go from the jump. Oklahoma looked like they had more energy from the jump. They looked like they had more fight, more fire, whatever adjective you want to use to describe them. They looked like they had it more than Texas.
Yeah.
Texas looked like they were reading the press clippings a little bit too much. We're the number 3 team in the nation. We beat Alabama on the road. Oklahoma has played nobody. Who did they play? SMU, Cincinnati. Oh, those are spares. Oklahoma hasn't played anybody. I felt Texas got into this game expecting the name on the front of their jerseys to win the game automatically.
I mean, if that's the case, I mean, it's always rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen.
361-882-5397. Get in on the text line. Let us know your thoughts on Oklahoma and Texas. Your thoughts on the Longhorns going forward.
And a throwback to a Stoops family member beating UT. Yeah.
That was just insult to injury. The fact that Drake Stoops had 2 of the biggest plays in the game in the last possession of the game for Oklahoma. The fact that he had that long touch, or not, that long reception that put them into the red zone, that hurts.
And another thing that I saw too, and was the pressure differential where Oklahoma had 5 sacks and then UT, I believe, only had 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Oklahoma front 7 was whooping up on the Texas offensive line. That was a victory for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's front was putting pressure on Quinn all day. It did not hurt Oklahoma either that Quinn Ewers had 2 interceptions. One of them a little bit questionable because J.T. Sanders did get his hands on both of on the football near the goal line. He was just popped by Bowman, the safety.
Bowman had a really good game, man.
He did. He looked good.
He also made that tackle on Worthy to keep him out of the end zone.
Quinn Ewers also fumbled on a scramble. That was pretty rough. So 3 turnovers off of the hands of Quinn Ewers yesterday. Despite that, Ewers was 31 of 37 for 346 yards, 1 touchdown, and, of course, those 2 interceptions. Jordan Whittington, 10 receptions, 115 yards for Texas. Another guy who stood out for Oklahoma was Jaleel Farouk, the wide receiver, 5 receptions, 130 yards. Even on some of those plays where they got him the ball out of the backfield, he was very, very dangerous. So, hey, man, look, Oklahoma might have just been underrated. They came into this game undefeated, ranked number 12. Maybe we were just all underrated them. Maybe they are actually a very good team.
And now UT has to win out to be in any playoff talk. Well, I mean, they'll probably see Oklahoma. Oklahoma is probably going to be. It's going to be probably UT and Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game because the rest of the Big 12 doesn't look as up to par. So I would, I
would agree with that. If Texas wins out, they probably do face Oklahoma again in Jerry World for the Big 12 championship. Now, playoff hopes. I mean, you could still probably get in with 1 loss.
I mean, other teams are going to have to start losing, too, like Ohio State,
Michigan,
Oregon, USC.
That's what I'm saying. The Pac-12 looks strong. So, look, playoff hopes took a
Florida State and I think UNC as well.
They took a big gash yesterday against Texas. Final score, Oklahoma 34, Texas 30. We're going to get to your reactions on the text line, 361-882-5397. Let us know your thoughts on Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma defeats Texas 34-30. We're going to take a quick break because when we come back, we continue our 30 minutes of power hour of college football. We're going to discuss the rest of what happened in the college football slate, and we'll get to your Oklahoma and Texas reactions. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush. It's James and Aiden with you all the way till 11 a.m. this morning. We're getting you ready for Cowboys and 49ers game day. We'll dive into Cowboys talk later on in the show. Right now, we're spending the majority of our time on some college football. On Twitter, @SoonerClone hit me up yesterday. He's very happy that Oklahoma beat Texas. Sooner Clone tagged me @SirEdwardJames. effed around and found out, right? Yes, the Longhorns effed around and they found out. At the False Hope, hit me up on Twitter about the Longhorn game. He says, every year, every GD year, my heart gets wrecked by this team. I agree. Mine too. The Longhorns always break my damn heart. Javier's in here. Javier says the Longhorns had their chances, but the mental errors killed them yesterday. And Coach Naranjo's in here. He says that injury timeout killed that Texas drive. Yeah, there was an injury timeout that kind of killed Texas's momentum a little bit. But hey, Texas lost. They got beat. They beat themselves to a degree. But you got to give credit to Oklahoma. Oklahoma came in and punched Texas in the mouth, and Texas didn't have an answer for it. And if you want to be a top 5 team in the nation, a top team in the nation, period, you want to contend for a national title, you got to be able to take the punches that other heavyweights are going to throw at you. And yesterday, Texas got knocked out. Texas got staggered, standing 8 count. The referee had to count. Texas came back out, tried their best to keep fighting, but ultimately they lost in the end. Let's go ahead and let's continue our college football discussion, and let's see what happened in the top 10 of college football. Number 1, Georgia smashed number 20 Kentucky 51-13. Like Aiden told me yesterday, the dogs were dogging.
Yeah.
And Georgia looked for real. Carson Beck, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
The best he's looked all year.
Bowers had 7 receptions, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Georgia looked like Georgia. They end the Kentucky hype, and they're 6-0. And without a doubt, number 1 team in the nation.
Kentucky's always been hyped every season for the past, 5 years. And then when it's time for them to be put in the spotlight, they just Kentucky it. So
That's true.
There we go.
So Georgia with the big victory. Number 2, Michigan defeats Minnesota 52-10. Not really much to say about this one.
Harbaugh's first game back.
Was his first game back.
Took a photo with the defensive side of the ball when they got a turnover. That was all right.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that Michigan did have a pick 6 at the beginning of the game, and pretty much it was over from then. Ohio State, number 4, defeats Maryland 37-17, but this was actually a much closer game. It was 10-10 at the half, and then it was 20-17 at the end of the third quarter for Ohio State before Ohio State pulled away with 17 points in the fourth quarter. Kyle McCord, quarterback, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Marvin Harrison Jr. had 8 receptions, 163 yards, and 1 touchdown. Ohio State, big victory. Florida State rolls over Virginia Tech 39-17. This one was not really close. Benson, the running back for Florida State, 11 carries, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Moving on to some more games. Where's the Alabama game on here? Why am I missing the Alabama game?
Well, Alabama's not in the top 10.
Oh, yeah, they're not in the top 10. Okay, continuing on.
But A&M sold, so, yeah.
We'll get to that one here soon. Number 9 ranked USC, 43, Arizona 41. Caleb Williams gets a 2-point conversion in triple overtime, and then the USC defense actually holds in triple overtime to seal the victory, 43-41. What is going on with this USC defense?
Well, the USC's offense didn't even look that well as well. Caleb Williams only threw 1 touchdown pass.
USC,
But
I'm getting a sense of fraudulence from USC because they've already had 2 really close games. Actually, 3. They had a very close game against Arizona State. They had that game they almost blew last week against Colorado. And then last night against Arizona, they barely win by 2. I'm sensing a little bit of fraudulence.
Same thing as last season.
Coming from USC. And once they start to play Oregon, the Washingtons, I don't know. I can smell 2 losses right there.
Yeah, Oregon and Washington are the 2 best teams in the Pac-12 to me. And then USC's probably 3rd or 4th.
Moving on. Number 25, Louisville upsets Notre Dame 33-20. Sam Hartman, the quarterback for the Irish, had a pedestrian game last night. 254 through the air, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Louisville ran the ball all night long on Notre Dame. The running back Jordan had 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Louisville gets the win up in Kentucky. And Jack Harlow was there, apparently.
Oh, that's why they lost.
And he stormed the field as Louisville upset Notre Dame.
Wait, did he go to Louisville?
I don't know. He's wearing Louisville gear, so
yeah,
he was there celebrating. Notre Dame now with 2 losses. They surely have to fall out of the top 10.
We slightly bought Notre Dame this year, but now not anymore.
I'll admit it. I bought it.
I bought them a little bit, but not anymore.
Yeah, Hartman does not look like the way I thought he was going to progress so far.
I think they would have had a better season had they beat Ohio State, but that was one of those losses that just deflated the season. So Notre Dame, bye-bye.
Alabama, number 11, went into College Station yesterday afternoon, and defeated the Aggies 26-20. Jalen Milroe, guys, 321 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Burton, the wide receiver for Alabama, 9 receptions, 197 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But look, I got to saw a little bit of this game when I was out at a establishment in town. And, dude, Jalen Milroe looks like he's coming into his own. He actually had a really good passing game yesterday, used his legs as well. And, yeah, he's the guy for Alabama. Alabama's on their way to winning the SEC West. And right now it's in line for Alabama versus Georgia in the SEC championship game. We all wanted to kick Alabama to the curb when Texas beat them, when they struggled against USF because Nick Saban, decided to start those 2 spares instead of Milroe. Look, Milroe's the dude, and Alabama is looking like they're becoming a better team as the season goes on.
I mean, Alabama's still a talented team, but even Nick Saban himself he said that we've never made this many mistakes as a team and still won a game.
Yeah. And they still won. And look, credit to A&M, because honestly, A&M probably should have won that game yesterday.
I think if they had if they had Connor Wayman, they'd probably win that game.
A&M's defense, they did come to play. A&M's defense was actually putting pressure on Milroe. It's just they didn't have enough in the end. Mistakes, some questionable Jimbo decisions. And, yeah, man, the defense for A&M kind of sold as well.
The only team I could see, and I don't think they'll even win, would be LSU. So,
dude, oh my God!
But they're so bad defensively.
Did LSU even win yesterday?
Yeah, they won by 10 against Missouri, but it was a back and forth game.
They won 49-39, and that's because Missouri was up pretty good. But LSU puts 22 in the fourth quarter to win that game. We're gonna save I'm gonna make a note because
we're gonna save Miami for the last.
Yeah, we're gonna save the Miami debacle for sports grab bag because Mario Cristobal.
Oh my goodness, dude!
Made one of the most dumb-ass decisions I've ever seen a head coach make.
As an Oregon fan, I've been preaching this, and I was right.
So we'll save that debacle for the last segment. But coming up next, we're going to get to your takes on the text line, and we're going to talk some Major League Baseball postseason because the Astros and the Rangers won. So we'll dive on into that next. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS. Stick around. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 135. James Espinosa and Adin Ducker with you. Shout out to the Javelinas last night. They won down in Kingsville 28-21. Bounce back win for the Hogs. They lost to UT Permian Basin last week. I believe this puts the Hogs at 4-1 on the season. So Coach Salinas and the boys down there in Kingsville having themselves another great start to the year. And I believe homecoming is next week for the Javelinas. They play Angelo State. So shout out to the Hogs. Just wanted to throw that out there. Javelina football continuing to make everybody proud down here in South Texas. Shout out also to Crossroads Clinical Research. If you're thinking about getting a flu shot, then Jerry Plemons is the guy for you to reach out to. But you have to be 65 years old to get this flu shot. You need it. If you need cash, you can get paid for it. Hit up Jerry Plemons at 361-288-4668 to get scheduled and sign up. Also, you can get information at number3cra.com. That is number3cra.com. Crossroads Clinical Research. Thank you for sponsoring the show. We got some reaction on the text line. I want to get to George D on the text line, 361-882-5397. George is in here on the Sunday Sports Rush. George says, good morning, gentlemen. Congrats on show 135. This Dallas game is the biggest game in a long time. Dallas wins a nail-biter, 21-17. The Dallas defense will win the game for them. Go Astros. Rock on, men. Thanks, George D. You know what, George? I like that prediction, George. And we're going to talk Cowboys and 49ers very, very soon for you guys. But George says the defense wins it tonight for the Cowboys. Love it, George. Love it. If you got any Cowboys and 49ers predictions, get them in on the text line. 882-5397. We got Ryan L. in here. I want to get to him real quick, then we'll jump into the Astros. Ryan L. says, A&M played well against Alabama. The loss is not Jimbo's fault. This is not a fire Jimbo loss. I agree with every play that was called and agree with every manner and situation of which the game was managed. We just did not execute and came up short. I feel bad for Texas, too. Y'all played so well. All right. Hey, Ryan doesn't think it was Jimbo's fault yesterday. And I'll agree, A&M did play hard. There were some mistakes made, and they just didn't have enough answers for Alabama.
Yeah. Like I said, the shorthanded, when you lose your starting quarterback, it's always tough. So
it's always tough, man. It's always tough. Thank you, boys, for getting in this morning. 361-882-5397. Continue to get your takes in. I will be reading them throughout the show. Let's dive right on in now to some Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball, it's the postseason. And real quickly, let's just get these games out of the way. The Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 11-2.
Glorious.
And they jumped all over Clayton Kershaw. Playoff Kershaw is back, and he reared his ugly head yesterday. Kershaw didn't even make it out of the first. He threw a third of an inning, gave up 6 hits, 6 earned runs, had 1 walk. He got his ass ripped, and the Diamondbacks get an 11-2 victory. The Diamondbacks.
Yeah, man.
Is there upset potential here against the Dodgers? Possibly.
I think they're going to win the series now. I mean, if the Dodgers were to recover to win this series, I mean, good on them, I guess. But I don't think I see the Diamondbacks winning this. They have Gallen coming up game 2, their ace. Dodgers starting pitchers been down all year. The bats have carried them through the regular season, but in the postseason, when you face great pitching, those bats get silenced, and you saw that with the Dodgers.
Yeah, 11-2, Diamondbacks win, and game 2, of course, will be, let's look at the schedule.
It's a series, basically. I don't see the Dodgers winning winning both games in Arizona.
Yeah, they don't play till Monday, so game 2 will be on Monday. Another game that happened in the National League yesterday, Phillies 3, Braves 0, and our guy, my guy, Bryce Harper, had himself a nice little postseason game yesterday.
Take him. And Harper rings one right field. That is up and gone. Bryce Harper with a home run. Right on cue, on base for the 3rd time. His 2nd hit. Harper fired up on his way around the bags. And the Phillies lead it 2-0.
So Harper went 2 for 2 at the plate, had 2 runs scored, 1 home run, 1 RBI. He was pretty much all the offense for the Phillies yesterday. Phillies get a pretty good start against the Braves, 3-0.
Yeah.
Strider, who is the Braves' ace, he did pitch 7 strong, but gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run. And Craig Kimbrell came in and shut it down for the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies...
It was all about the Braves' bats not being there.
Look, the Phillies have playoff pedigree.
They beat them last year, too.
Yeah, they sure did. I think the Phillies can be scary. Man, I think they can be scary.
Man, it's just funny. The Braves and Dodgers had all them hits in the regular season, and the postseason they're selling so far.
Got all them hits, but you can't hit in the postseason. Oh, good golly.
And the Braves and Dodgers, they should be thankful they've had a recent World Series championship. Because they'd be so clowned on. They're getting clowned on now.
Yeah. Another game that we should get to. Rangers 3, Orioles 2. The Rangers go up 1-0 in this series. And Josh Young had himself another great day. The rookie for the Rangers goes deep against Baltimore.
Hitting lead. Flies it to center field. Mullins is going back on the track at the wall. It's gone. And the rookie out of the 8th spot goes deep to center field. Rangers up 3-1.
You know, the entire Rangers lineup did fantastic yesterday. I mean, multiple guys with at least 1 hit.
Their standout's been that Evan Carter, though.
The rookie Evan Carter, who they just called up a month ago.
They called up because of Adolis Garcia's, or he was already called up, but he started because of Adolis Garcia being injured for a few weeks.
Yeah, and
now they're starting left fielder, and he's been a stud, dude.
Carter had a double to right yesterday, which scored Garcia in the 4th inning. Jose Leclerc got the save. Dane Dunning got the win. He only pitched 2 innings, but he did get the win, and the Rangers pull off a 3-2 win. So they're up 1-0 in their series.
I had the Rangers in 5. I expect, and I said this before the postseason started, even with the banter and chit chat.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a Texas showdown at ALCS.
Well, it's looking pretty good because yesterday, as well, the Astros come away with the victory over the Minnesota Twins, 6-4. The Astros are actually dominating this game. They got off to a quick start. Jose Altuve, first pitch he sees in the postseason, he hits a home run. It's 1-0 in the first.
Tone setter,
yes. Justin Verlander pitched very well, by the way. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. The first 1, 2, and 3 innings for Verlander, a tad bit shaky. There were guys on base that he allowed to get on base, but couple of double play balls, a nice defensive play by Alex Bregman at third, and Verlander was able to get out of those innings, and he looked pretty solid. That was a vintage Justin Verlander playoff performance. In the third inning, Alvarez hit a 2-run bomb to make it 3-0. Abreu had a single in the 5th that scored Alex Bregman, and then McCormick had a single in the 5th, which scored Alvarez, so it's 5-0. They put in Hector Neris in the 7th. They take out Verlander. And then Polanco hits a 3-run bomb. The next batter, Lewis, hits a home run, and all of a sudden it is 5-4. And I'm thinking at this moment, please, Lord, don't let the Astros sell this game. Please.
Absolutely.
It would have been a devastating game.
Hector Neris carried the Astros bullpen throughout the regular season, so I wasn't too angry with him because the Astros would never been in this position without him.
Yeah.
But it was just very uncharacteristic and honestly mind-boggling how bad he looked.
He did not look good. And, yeah, he gave up 4 runs, 2 home runs.
But the Astros needed an answer to respond. And
in the bottom of the 7th, Yordan Alvarez had that answer.
You know, I've felt that both sides.
Alvarez with a response. His second of the game off the pole. Alvarez said he got that.
So Yordan comes up clutch once again for the Astros. He had 2 home runs yesterday.
I know it was just
3 RBI.
I know it was just a solo homer, but you felt the momentum switch back to the Astros from that point on. Abreu came in and was lights out in picking up Neris in the 7th and then the 8th.
Yeah, Abreu had 3 strikeouts in 1 1/3 innings pitched, and then they put in Ryan Presley in the 9th. Shuts down the Twins. He had 2 strikeouts in the 9th. Presley looked sharp. Abreu looked sharp. Verlander looked sharp. All positives. Offense was rolling as well. So, hey.
I mean, anytime you score over, I always say if you reach like 6, it's a good day for the offense.
Yeah, anytime you get 4,
at least 5.
6 runs, it's a good day for the offense.
Yeah, but
those are days that you should win.
I mean, the Astros, they just know how to take care of business, man. You know, any other team probably would have blown that game, but the Astros have been there before. I believe this is like their 10th ALDS win in a row at home.
I believe so. It's some kind
like that.
It's some kind of crazy streak like that.
They haven't lost an ALDS game at home since that ill-fated Royals game 4. You know,
where Carlos Correa made an error at shortstop.
It was more than Correa, but yeah.
I mean, he made a big error back then.
Yeah, it was a big error, but a lot of things went wrong. But since then, they've been undefeated at home in the ALDS. That's crazy.
So today, we actually have a conflict tonight. If you're a Cowboys fan and an Astros fan like myself, the Cowboys and Astros play at the same time tonight. And tonight, on the mound for the Astros is going to be Framber Valdez, and he's going to be going up against Pablo Lopez. First pitch is scheduled for 7:03 p.m. on FS1. Astros looking to go up 2-0 in the series, and the Astros are, of course, a favorite tonight, a -135 favorite. So they're favorite to win.
So basically, San Antonio and Corpus basically is going to have a conundrum.
Yes, San Antonio and Corpus will have a big conundrum tonight. Yeah. And then at 3 o'clock today, the Rangers and Orioles play. It's going to be Jordan Montgomery, on the mound for the Rangers. He's going up against Grayson Rodriguez of the Orioles. And look, Montgomery's pitched really well for the Rangers. He had a really good showing in the wild card round against the Rays. I won't be surprised if at the end of today, Astros are up 2-0, Rangers are up 2-0.
When I saw the Orioles in person, they did not. I know it was one game, but Javier lit them up, and they just did not look that impressive to me. I was like, this team's beatable in the postseason. They had, good story. They had 110 losses 2 years ago.
Yeah.
To 100 wins, but I think they're a year behind still.
They're like that Astros team in 2016. Or like 2015, 2016.
I think it's still a little too young. I feel like in the next couple of seasons they'll be a better team.
Not quite there. So like I said, I will not be surprised if the Astros and Rangers are both up 2-0 by the end of tonight.
And let's not forget, Rangers, 3-time World Series champion Bruce Bochy as their manager.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Oh, man, please give us an Astros and Rangers ALCS.
That's what I want. There's been a lot of shit chatter, especially at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Silence it. Settle it on the field.
And if the Rangers somehow do beat the Astros, I'll give them their flowers. It'd be like, okay, you beat us, you eliminated us.
You took down the champs. I hope they get a chance to face each other.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. That's our Major League Baseball discussion. If you have any reacts to that, get in on the text line 361-882-5397. Coming up next, it's our Cowboys Rewind. The Cowboys beat the Patriots 38-3 last weekend. And we're going to rewind that for you and pick out the most important parts of that game as we prepare you for Cowboys and 49ers tonight on Sunday Night Football. Keep it locked. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush. It's James and Aiden with you till 11 o'clock. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll have some NFL headlines. Pretty much the rest of the show is devoted to NFL Sunday. We'll get you ready for Cowboys and 49ers as well, coming up at 10:20. Got some Cowboys predictions rolling in, 361-882-5397. Daniel says Cowboys 26, 49ers 24. Close game that Daniel has. Robert's in here. Robert says 19-17. Could go either way. Gotta say, my Cowboys, though. I have faith. Dak, 1 touchdown, 225 yards. Purdy, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Aubrey with 4 field goals, including the game winner. It'll be interesting. Robert with his prediction in. One more. We got Anthony Gonzalez, my good friend Anthony. He says 24-10 Cowboys. So, of course, Cowboys fans feeling confident. I feel confident too, Cowboys fans. I'm just going to tell you something right now. I feel confident also, and I'll give you my official prediction coming up at 10:20, so make sure you stick around for that. Right now, let's do our Cowboys Rewind, because last week, the Cowboys, they did it. They won 38-3 over the New England Patriots. It was a bounce-back win from that ugly loss they had in Arizona. And just some quick notes from the game. The Cowboys don't lose back-to-back games in the Mike McCarthy era. It's very rare. The Cowboys are now 9-1 since the start of the 2021 season when they lose a game. 9-1 after they lose a game. That is a win percentage of 900. The Cowboys also have a little bit of a fortress now at AT&T Stadium. I know people don't think of AT&T Stadium as home field advantage for the Cowboys, but check this note out. The Cowboys have now won 10 straight games at home, and get used to that because Mike McCarthy prioritizes winning at home. He did it a lot at Green Bay. In Green Bay, he had a 41-game stretch where the Packers were 36-4-1. Dallas is now 19-8 at AT&T Stadium with McCarthy and 15-3 at home since the start of the 2021 season. Cowboys rarely lose at home. It's starting to become a little bit of a home field advantage for the Dallas Cowboys. The numbers don't lie.
I know, but,
15-3 in the last 3 seasons? Come on, that's big.
In the playoffs, you got to get that number 1 seed to.
Of course, I get that. But what I'm saying is regular season, they're a fortress at home. They win at home. They just find ways to win.
I mean that's good. I mean, they're figuring out how to win regular season games more consistently now.
Last week, the Cowboys handed Bill Belichick the worst loss of his career, 35-point beatdown. That stat blew my freaking mind when I saw them put it up on the screen.
I'm sorry. I mean, you could have had a combination of Mahomes, Brady, and Peyton Manning at quarterback for the past. They were not winning that game. Just nothing was going right.
Last week, the Cowboys went 1 of 4 in the red zone, But they did get a touchdown from Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb. Here it is, the call from Fox.
Here's Prescott looking to throw a fade for CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. Touchdown, Dallas.
That touchdown by CeeDee Lamb snapped a 5-game streak of Dallas receivers not catching a touchdown pass. Before that touchdown, a Cowboy receiver hadn't caught a pass since the Bucs wildcard game in Tampa. So that was kind of a crazy stat that the Cowboys broke last week. The Cowboys also won the turnover battle 3-0 against the Patriots. The Cowboys had 2 defensive touchdowns against the Patriots. A strip sack fumble from Dante Fowler, which led to a scoop and score by Leighton Vander Esch. And then Mac Jones, right before the half, it's 21-3 Cowboys. There's about a minute to go before halftime, and Mac Jones decides to throw one of the worst balls I've ever seen an NFL quarterback throw.
Second down, a lot of time. Jones just can't find it. Comes back across the field. This time he pays the price. DaRon Bland, pick 6.
Wow. I cannot believe Mac Jones threw that. And he tried once before. He got lucky and completed it once before. And the second time, DaRon Bland said, nope, I'm jumping right in front of that ball. Mac Jones is pretty bad at quarterback, y'all. I mean, look, this is what, his 3rd year? Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, though, there's, like, really no explosive receiving options for him to throw to as well. But still, I mean, Brady and other great quarterbacks, you know, they throw to white guys like Edelman and Welker. You know.
The New England Patriots, the home of the white wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't traded for Hunter Renfrow yet because he's not being used. I mean, impressive win for the Cowboys.
It was. Look, anytime you can beat somebody 38-3 in the NFL, it's an impressive day.
And if you're a Pats fan, listening, just embrace the tank. Just get a good quarterback or a good game-changing pick. It just not this formula of being mid the past 3 years is not going to work.
The Cowboys moved the ball with ease against the Patriots defense that came into this game as one of the better defenses in the league. We ran down their stats last week. They were like ranked 9th overall. They were a top half NFL defense. Cowboys went 8 of 15 on third downs, 377 total yards. The Cowboys decreased their penalties from 13 to 5. They had 13 against Arizona. They had 5 last week against the Patriots for 72 yards. 5, you could do a little bit better than that. Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons generated 9 pressures against the New England Patriots. This was his 8th consecutive game with 5+ pressures. This is the second longest streak of the next-gen stats era. So Micah Parsons still being, someone who causes havoc in the backfield for offenses. Yeah. Cowboys did that, guys. Cowboys won the time of possession, 35 minutes to 24 against those New England Patriots. So, look, overall, right, Cowboys got a pretty convincing victory, 38-3. And now as we transition, and we're going to start looking at the Cowboys and 49ers game, this is something that the Cowboys need to learn how to do. You blow out a team, and then you got to learn how to go out the next week and try and do the same thing or try to win again, And it's going to be hard on the road. It's going to be tough on the road. A much tougher opponent, obviously. How can the Cowboys kind of put this one behind them and not get their heads too big and focus on the 49ers? That's going to be a key going into today. And I got a feeling Mike McCarthy will have these boys ready. And at 10:20, of course, we will give you our Cowboys and 49ers scouting report. Aylin, early thoughts, Cowboys, 49ers. Just early thoughts.
This will be a close game.
You think so?
I'll save my prediction for the
we'll save
segment, but I think it's going to be a close, hard hitting. It's going to be a one-possession game in the last few minutes.
We got some more predictions rolling in. Keith is in here. Keith says 17-14 San Francisco.
I mean, that's a score I could see.
He says both teams have great defense, but Dallas will need to do more to slow down the 49ers with all the offensive weapons they have. Cough, cough. Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. and Deebo Samuel if he's fully healthy.
And George Kittle.
And George Kittle, yes. Dallas will initially struggle on offense, but get things coming back towards the end, but still too little too late. That is Keith's prediction.
I will say the one thing I'll
tease a little bit.
I'll wonder about is that D'Amico Ryans is no longer the defensive coordinator. It's a new guy calling the shots. Maybe will that have an effect on the game? Who knows?
Interesting.
D'Amico Ryans was Dak's boogeyman.
He was a lot of people's boogeyman, and now he has the Texans actually playing some pretty damn good football. So there we go. That's our Cowboys rewind. Cowboys 38, Patriots 3, dominating victory from the Dallas Cowboys. They bounced back from their loss against the Arizona Cardinals, and now we're on to San Francisco, and we got our Cowboys and 49ers preview coming up at 10:20. Get your Cowboys predictions in here. Who wins tonight? What are some bold predictions that you have? I'll make sure to read them coming up here shortly on the Sunday Sports Rush. Coming up next, we have NFL headlines. There's a London game happening right now. We'll peek in on Jaguars and Bills. We're broadcasting live from the Americana Arms Studios, big city selection, small town prices. This is KEYS Corpus Christi. Hour 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush is coming up. Stick around. Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, and listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to hour number 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I am your host. It is James Espinosa, joined alongside my good friend, producer, and co-host Adin Ducker.
Cougars, I love Cougars.
We got a pretty packed hour number 2 coming up for you. At the last segment of the day, I got some Spurs news to get to. We're also going to talk about the Mario Cristobal debacle last night from the Miami Hurricane game. One of the dumbest coaching moves I think I've ever seen in my life. At 10:30, we'll have Alex Weister on the line. Gen Z Weister will be joining us to make some NFL picks. It's week 5, and we have a tie atop of our leaderboard. We'll get to that at 10:30. At 10:20, we'll scout the 49ers and give our official Cowboys and 49ers predictions. Right now, though, we are going to dive into some NFL headlines, but I do have some more of your predictions that I want to shout out. David Garza's in here. David has a prediction for Cowboys and 49ers. David says 21-17 Dallas. Jose is in here as well. He says 20-17 Cowboys. John is in here. He has the Cowboys winning by 2 touchdowns. 24-10 Cowboys. Man, if that happens, if the Cowboys win by 2 touchdowns tonight, I will be one of the happiest men ever. I don't think they win by 2 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a lot closer than that. But my official prediction is upcoming at 10:20. Jerry's in here, one of my good friends. He says 28-21 Cows. I like that one. I think it's going to be a very close game tonight. My God, I'm so excited about this one. This one has been billed since the beginning of the season. This one has been hyped since the beginning of the season. And now it finally comes to a head when the Cowboys travel to Santa Clara, which is about an hour outside of San Francisco, to play the 49ers. Going to be a fantastic one. One of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. And we'll have that preview coming up at 10:20. Right now, Aiden, let's go ahead. Let's dive into some NFL news, some NFL headlines. Let's do that as we kick off hour number 2 right here on the Sunday Sports Rush. Let's check in on the game that is going down in London. You know the Jaguars have played 2 games in a row in London?
Did they stay there?
They stayed there.
Okay, I would assume so.
So this is their 2nd consecutive week in London, and they are up 11-7 at halftime over the Buffalo Bills. Right now, Trevor Lawrence is having himself a good game at the half, 16 of 23 for 192 yards. Christian Kirk has 4 receptions for 63 yards.
He's my starting receiver.
And Zay Jones has the touchdown for the Jaguars. Stephon Diggs has a touchdown from Josh Allen for 15 yards. They scored right before the half. So it's 11-7. That's where we're at right now at the half.
The Jags were actually marching down the field. I think they were on the Bills' 12-yard line, 3rd and 2, and Trevor Lawrence took a sack fumble. Bills recovered. to end the half. They could have gotten at least 3 points. Would have been up 14-7, but currently they're up 11-7.
So we'll keep you updated on that game as things progress. 361-882-5397. Don't forget, get your Cowboys and 49ers predictions on the text line. Who wins tonight's game? Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. On Thursday night, the Commanders lost to the Bears, 40-20. The winless Chicago Bears, who also sold last week against the Broncos. I thought they were going to beat the Broncos last week.
Yeah, and that was your upset pick, right?
It was, and they sold pretty hard. Well, the Washington Commanders lost to the Bears. And guess what? This snapped a historic 14-game losing streak for the Chicago Bears. It had almost been a complete year. 346 days to be exact since the Bears last won a game. They get it done on Thursday. And then Magic Johnson had a tweet that went out. And Magic Johnson, of course, he's a limited partner with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
He delivered some harsh criticism to his Commanders team. Here's the tweet from Magic. Tonight, the Commanders played with no intensity or fire. We didn't compete in the first half and got down 27-3 heading into halftime. It was too big of a hole to climb out of, and that is why we ended up losing 40-20.
Dude, that's actually less literal than most of his tweets, so I'll give him that. But it has to be a running joke in this point where he just has the most literal baby sense analysis of what happened.
He's very, like you're saying, very literal, and it just makes you laugh because it's just like so, Mr. Obvious,
I mean, he has to know it's a gag at this point.
He has to. So I thought that was funny to point out. They even asked Terry McLaurin and defensive end Montez Sweat about the comments. And this is what Terry McLaurin had to say about Magic's tweet. Quote, I'd probably say that's pretty fair. Montez Sweat said, quote, definitely. We came out flat. Imagine having to answer questions about Magic Johnson's tweets. That's funny in itself.
And, the Commanders did, they had an ugly loss to the Bills, but they've been competitive otherwise to start the year. Almost beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. And this really puts a damper on what I thought was going to be an upcoming, like an upgraded season, an increase in wins and whatnot.
I thought that they could be probably this year's Giants from last year.
But
how the Giants made the playoffs.
But now Ron Rivera's hot seat is really hot. And for a defensive coach, that Commanders defense has been really bad.
Yeah. The offense was all right, though, but still, defense was very bad.
I know Ron Rivera's a good guy. He's been through a lot, and I get it, but at the same time, when you're a head football coach, you need to know how to put a good defense out there, and you need to know, especially after what happened last year, you need to know, playoff implications and whatnot. So
Exactly. Another headline to get to, this one involves the 49ers. Randy Gregory was actually traded from the Broncos to the 49ers. Former Dallas Cowboy defensive end. The Niners acquired Gregory and a 2024 7th-round pick from the Broncos in exchange for a 2024 6th-round pick. This deal happened, I believe, on Friday. And, of course, Randy Gregory, he will not play today. It's the trade happened a little bit too late. Didn't have enough time to get to San Francisco. He will report to the 49ers tomorrow. But just thought that was interesting how Randy Gregory, he's going to be a 49er. And those are the type of moves that teams who are in win-now mode make because the 49ers already have a great defensive line.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory's a pretty good pass rusher, but now he's going to be with the 49ers. He's more of a luxury now. This is a guy that we could bring in on rotations and not have to play too much, but he could come in and pin his ears back and rush the passer. Good move by the 49ers, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Cowboys offensive linemen breathed a sigh of relief and not have to be tackled on the line of scrimmage by Randy Gregory.
Exactly.
Little.
What are your thoughts on... We haven't even talked about this on the Sports Rush, but your whole thoughts on this, on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
It's too much, man. It's way too much.
You think so?
I understand the NFL wants to get, her completely different fan base on board with the NFL and increase, because she has a big fan base. She has A-listers in the back rows and in the very back and up in the second deck at concerts. That's how much of an I don't even think it would say A-list. It's like a double S tier celebrity.
But you really do think it's too much?
Yes, and the Kelceys are starting to say that now themselves. I think both Jason and Travis Kelce have said in their pockets that they think the coverage is too much.
I think the NFL is definitely trying to capitalize off this, and I agree it's a little bit too much. You don't have to show Taylor Swift in the box after every single play. You don't have to play Taylor Swift's music on the bump ins and bump outs of every single game. Maybe the NFL has a plan in the long run to try and get Taylor Swift to do a halftime show.
They want her to do a halftime show.
I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to kiss her butt.
Because I think she's turned down a couple times at least.
She has. And this year, of course, Usher will be the halftime performer.
Okay. I still like the halftime show with the Bengals and Rams. You had all those,
all the old school rap, 50 Cent, and
that
all
was
that.
such a good. I remember I was able to get off work in time to see that with y'all. That was so good.
Apparently, the NFL wants a very viral halftime show with Usher.
I mean, nothing's gonna top the Shakira J-Lo at booty dance.
Whoa! Did you just say?
I almost said A, but booty dance.
I think we were all thinking that. Okay, just wanted your thoughts on that.
Great halftime show, by the way, too.
Injury news. The Lions, St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, unlikely to play today. Raiders, Jimmy G has cleared concussion protocol. He's scheduled to play Monday night against the Packers.
Yeah, the Raiders this year play like a football team that's always in concussion protocol as a unit. So
yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Especially the coaching staff as well.
No doubt about that. Today, for the Giants, Saquon Barkley is not likely to play versus the Dolphins.
Okay.
And also, this happened yesterday, actually. Jonathan Taylor and the Colts have signed a 3-year, $42 million extension. Of course, Jonathan Taylor had been holding out. He has not played this season with the Colts. Him and Jim Irsay had some weird falling out. Jim Irsay was saying the NFL will survive without Jonathan Taylor, and when me and Jonathan Taylor are dead, no one's going to remember us. Like, he had some real weird, morbid quotes at the beginning of the season.
A little too much whiskey and
tequila. A little too much Percocets going on with our guy up there in Indy. But Jonathan Taylor's here, $26.5 million guaranteed, and it makes Taylor one of the NFL's highest paid running backs. So the Colts are 2-2. I mean, they haven't looked half bad with their young quarterback, Anthony Richardson. So they play the Titans today, and that's going to be one of the games that we do pick in NFL Pick'em.
Yeah, and I see, from what I've seen, the Colts are implementing that Eagles offense sort of with Anthony Richardson kind of running the ball here and there. And I think I believe it's the Eagles offensive coordinator, Steichen, right, that they hired?
Yes.
Yeah, and so, yeah, they're competitive. Honestly, the AFC South, that would look a lot worse than what they are right now.
Who are your top 3 teams in the AFC?
Top 3 teams in the AFC. Hold on, let me put back the
like right now, as we stand, your top 3 in the AFC to make a run at the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, I'd put Chiefs.
Chiefs by default? I mean, Chiefs haven't even looked that good, man.
They're 3-1. I mean, the Patriots, their dynasty, they've always looked mid in September. Then they get on a run in the middle of the season.
I guess so. You're right.
So
Chiefs for sure.
Chiefs. Oh, man. Ravens.
Ravens have looked pretty sharp.
And then Bills probably. Although they don't look that good right now.
They don't look that good right now, but they did have a big, impressive win against the Dolphins last week.
Yeah.
That is correct.
And then probably outside looking in, probably had the Dolphins 4 or 5.
The AFC doesn't seem...
It doesn't look as loaded.
Doesn't look as strong as it used to be because the Bengals are 1-3 now.
Yeah, the Bengals, I'm going to write them off because Joe Burrow's just not healthy. And I feel like he's going to injure that calf even worse. It's going to be a lost year.
Interesting. Speaking of your Ravens, Marlon Humphrey is set to play versus the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big addition, cornerback Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, he's a good player whenever he plays. Just the Ravens get cursed every year.
Did you know that his, I don't know who it is, but there's some family member related to him who's actually playing with the Islanders right now, basketball?
I remember
he officially signed with the Islanders. Like, he's on the Islanders team as we speak.
I think I saw this in a story of Marlon Humphreys once.
Yes.
I didn't know the connection, so now I know.
Yeah. So there we go. A connection to the Ravens here via A&amp Corpus Christi. How insane is that? And that wraps up our NFL headlines for week number 5. Coming up next, it is time that we dive on in to Cowboys and 49ers. Sunday Night Football right here on News Talk KEYS. We preview Cowboys and 49ers and give you our official picks coming up next. Hit us up on the text line with your picks, 361-882-5397. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. 361-882-5397. Get your Cowboys takes to the Sunday Sports Rush right now. Who wins the game, Cowboys or 49ers? We have it right here on News Talk KEYS. 6 p.m. pregame, 7:25 kickoff. And don't forget, after the game, we will have a post-game show right here on News Talk KEYS as well, your official home of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go ahead and let's dive right on into it, Aiden. It's Cowboys and 49ers. We scout the 49ers right now. This is one of my favorite segments of the week where we break it down for you. It's Cowboys and Niners, the rivalry. Quick injury news for the Cowboys. Tyron Smith is expected to play tonight. The Cowboys haven't had their best 5 starting offensive linemen on the field together since their wild card loss to the 49ers at the end of the 2021 season.
Wait, Tyron Smith or Tyler Smith?
Tyron. So the line tonight for the Cowboys will be full strength. Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith left guard, center Tyler Biadasz, right guard Zach Martin, right tackle Terrence Steele. Perfect. Right in time to face this great pass rush with Nick Bosa and the 49ers. Awesome. Now, Peyton Hendershot is out tonight, tight end for the Cowboys.
I guess he's shot.
Linebacker Damone Clark is questionable. San Francisco running back Elijah Mitchell is out for them. But some notes tonight. Tonight will be the first 49ers and Cowboys meeting in prime time since November of 1990. That is crazy. Since 1990, they haven't met in a Sunday Night Football, a Thursday Night Football, or a Monday Night Football game. That's wild.
That's strange. They haven't met more often.
Yeah, especially on primetime.
That's weird.
Since 1990. Some quick facts. San Francisco leads the regular season series 15-14-1. The last time the Cowboys met in the regular season with the 49ers was December 2020, where the Cowboys won 41-33. But, of course, the 49ers have knocked the Cowboys out of the playoffs the last 2 years, once in the wild card round, once in the divisional round. 49ers notes. The 49ers are third in scoring, averaging 31.3 points per game. And Christian McCaffrey has been on a freaking tear, yo.
Yeah, and you know what's weird is that they've been running him to the ground, too. Like, I haven't seen any other running back. I know Elijah Mitchell's been banged up, but he's been playing basically all their snaps.
Over his last 4 games, McCaffrey, 459 rushing yards, 80 rushing attempts, 6 rushing touchdowns, 5.7 yards per average. He also had last week 7 receptions for 71 yards against the Cardinals. He's a dual threat. He's someone the Cowboys are going to have to watch out for, as well as Kittle, as well as Ayuk, as well as Debo. Debo's not 100%, but still you got to watch out for Debo. It's a dangerous offense.
And I know I know there's a lot of weapons on that team, and I know it's been a while, but I think McCaffrey's the lead MVP candidate right now.
Fair.
Number 1.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Because Purdy, he's been good, Purdy, but McCaffrey's been the leading guy in that offense.
Purdy's been good, but he hasn't been special.
Like, McCaffrey's been special. He's, all them long rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
But the Niners, with his injury history, are playing with fire right now.
The Niners have the number 3 ranked scoring defense. They only give up 14.5 points per game. The Niners have a +4 in turnover margin. That is 6th in the NFL. The Cowboys, meanwhile, are number 1 in turnover margin at +9. That is 1st. What the Cowboys need to do, the Cowboys need to put the pressure on Brock Purdy. People forget that last year during the playoff game against the Cowboys, Purdy was only 19 of 29 for 214. The Pollard injury and the interception that Dak threw in the red zone is what won the game for the 49ers last season. Dak's inability to play a clean football game really put the 49ers ahead.
Purdy did start getting it going a little bit as slowly as the game went on.
But the Cowboys were able to put pressure on him last year. and make him look a little bit normal, you know? And so far this season, Purdy has 5 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, just over 1,000 yards passing. He's not lighting it up.
But if the Cowboys were to implement like the Belichick way and do a pick your poison kind of deal, I would totally sell out on the run. Just force Brock Purdy to make those throws. Force him to have like a 300-yard passing kind of game.
Yes.
And that's the way to that's, for me, how to counter the Niners.
The Cowboys need to force a turnover from him. Strip sack, fumble, interception, something to throw the young Purdy off. He's only had 13 NFL starts, not even a full NFL season started. Put the pressure on Brock Purdy and make him beat you. I agree with that, Aiden.
I'll say, selling out on the runs, easier said than done because McCaffrey's that dude. But,
True.
But, you know, that should be the game plan at least going into the game.
What to watch in this game? Dak Prescott must be on his game on Sunday night. Dak Prescott last year against the 49ers had one of the worst games he's ever played. And if you're getting paid $40 million a season, you got to play like a $40 million season quarterback. In big games like this, your best player needs to be your best player. And tonight, Dak Prescott needs to be that guy. No turnovers, no indecisiveness. We need Dak to play a clean game tonight and be willing to take some shots downfield and not play conservative. And that is also on Mike McCarthy as well. Need Big Mike. What offense are we going to see from Big Mike tonight? It's a big game against the defense in the 49ers that is very stout. They're kind of the Jets are a carbon copy of the 49ers defense with Robert Saleh as the head coach.
Yeah.
And we saw what the Cowboys did against the Jets defense. You're able to move the ball against this type of defense.
I think the Niners overall have a better unit.
A better unit, more skilled players, I get it, but
Fred Warner is an absolute. I mean, Nick Bosa too.
Bosa, Warner,
Armstead,
Hufanga, the safety who makes crazy plays.
Yeah.
I mean, they are good. But at the end of the day, your best player has to be your best player, and Dak Prescott needs to do that. The Cowboys can't afford to have Dak play hesitant and make poor decisions like he has done in the past in big games. At some point tonight, it's going to be huge for Dak, and he's going to be asked upon to make a big play in a big moment. The Cowboys defense also has to demonstrate that they can win this type of battle and get takeaways when it matters most. Yeah, you're pretty good against teams that are not that great. Start getting takeaways against the teams that are great and put the pressure on Brock Purdy and force him into some mistakes. Big key tonight for the Cowboys defense. They can't run out of gas. They have to play the 60 minutes. Last year during the playoff game, the Cowboys had moments to take over that game when it was 9-9, but the defense proceeded to give up a 10-play, 91-yard touchdown drive, which was capped off by Kyle Juszczyk. Defense dropped a lot of interceptions last year against the 49ers as well.
Yeah.
And Trayvon Diggs failed to blow up George Kittle, which was a pivotal moment in that game.
Yeah, that was the biggest play of the game.
So, what will we see with Mike McCarthy tonight? What's different from him and Kellen Moore? The Niners are the reason why Kellen Moore isn't here anymore.
Yeah.
We got to see it. Got to see some verticality in this offense. Will McCarthy unleash Dak? We'll see what happens.
All right.
Predictions, let's go.
All right, prediction time. I think this is going to play out kind of like the Bengals-Rams Super Bowl, and I have the Niners as the number 1 seed heading to the Super Bowl and winning it. So, obviously beating the Cowboys in that regard. So, give me the Niners 23, Cowboys 20. I think that plays a little bit better than he has in the past, but I still don't think it will be good enough.
This one's going to be tough for me, and I know we got a minute left, but dang it, man. I'm literally at a coin flip right now.
I mean, are you going to put your upset on it? Come on, do it. Come on, Cowboys fan. Do it. Do it. Come on.
I got to do this.
Have the guts to do it.
Tonight, the Cowboys exercise their demons.
Upset pick on it?
Upset pick on the Cowboys, 27-20 over the 49ers.
Proud of you, James. That's what I'd like to hear.
I got to ride with the Cowboys tonight, 27-20 over the 49ers. Get your predictions in here, 361-882-5397. I want to hear from you. Who wins tonight? Cowboys or 49ers? It's game time. It's game night. Sunday Night Football. Cannot wait for this.
I think it's just me and Alex need to make our upsets then.
Yeah. Coming up next, Gen Z, Alex Weister will join us on the line to make some NFL picks for week number 5. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Keep it locked. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 135. Getting you ready for Cowboys and 49ers tonight. We just gave our official predictions. Aiden's taking San Francisco 23-20. I'm taking the Cowboys 27-20, and I'm putting my upset special on it. You know what will not make you upset? That's Crossroads Clinical Research. Those guys always make you happy. Jay Plemons and company. Right now, if you're 65 or older, you have the opportunity to get paid by getting your flu shot. So hit up Jerry Plemons at 361-288-4668. That's 361-288-4668. Get scheduled and signed up. Hit them up also at number3cra.com. That is number3cra.com. Crossroads Clinical Research, our good friends. Thank you to Jerry Plemons for sponsoring the show. It's time to get Alex Weister on the line. It is Gen Z Alex Weister. What's up, baby?
What's up?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Sorry, Alex.
I'm doing fantastic.
I was jamming a Japanese mellow right now. I almost got carried away. My
You're
bad.
all good.
He was literally back there, Alex.
Yeah.
He
When the chorus hits in that song, I just go off. I'm sorry.
He was standing up and gyrating in ways I didn't know Aiden can gyrate. Let's just put it that way. I didn't know he had those type of moves. But here we are. It's Pick'em, Alex. You heard me. I picked the Cowboys. They're my upset special, so I hope you weren't looking at that one.
No, I wasn't.
Aiden picked San Francisco. Marcos picked San Francisco by a final score of 27-23. Let's just start right there with you. Who wins tonight, Cowboys or 49ers?
It seems like we all have it pretty much within like the same vein. I have 49ers 24-20.
Okay, so you're anticipating also a very close game. It could probably go either way, but in the end, San Francisco has a little bit too much for Dallas.
I agree, yes.
Okay, cool. So you got the Niners. Aiden's got the Niners. Marcos has the Niners. I'm the lone Cowboy. I'm wearing my Trayvon Diggs jersey as we speak. I'm going for the upset special. Now, before we get to the rest of our picks, the current standings of Pick'em as they're constituted week 5. Marcos and Alex, y'all guys are in the lead. Y'all are tied with 27 wins apiece. Aiden has 24. I have 23. So only 4 games separating you and Marcos to me in last place. So there we go. It's getting kind of tight here. And let's go ahead and start off with Texans at Falcons. Now, Marcos, I let him pick the Texans as his upset pick. He begged me to do it. Poor kid. So I let him do it. He has the Texans as his upset pick. Texans are on the road against the Falcons. Both teams are 2-2. Atlanta is a 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to start this one off. Give me the Texans. I am buying all the Texan stock. I love what I'm seeing out of C.J. Stroud. I love the defense that they're putting out there. And I think that Desmond Ridder is just not that great at quarterback right now. That Falcons offense is so inconsistent. I think the Texans win this one. Let's go, Alex. Who do you got?
I think this is going to be a clean sweep. Aiden and I talked a little bit during the break. I got the Texans as well. As you said, C.J. Stroud has looked phenomenal. He's looked pretty much like the best quarterback out of the draft. Anthony Richardson is making a big case himself with how he moves on the ground. But, yeah, C.J. Stroud's been phenomenal. I love the Texans right now.
All righty, so you got the Texans. Aiden, are you going Texans or Falcons?
Yeah, I'm going to go Texas as well. The Falcons I have at a 7-win team or less. The Texans have really impressed me. They, with how they looked against the Steelers, just wore them down. And I really don't see, DeMeco Ryans letting Desmond Ridder beat his defense. Sorry.
With the way the AFC South is looking, man, I don't know, man. Texans wild card?
The Texans might.
Sniffing
I
it a
think
little
they
bit.
could take the Bengals playoff spot,
I'm sniffing. Texans wild card.
They're going to be there.
I don't know. We'll see. Next game on the docket. This is also a pretty tightly contested ball game, and it is an AFC South game. Both teams are 2-2. Titans at the Colts. Right now, the Titans are a 2.5-point favorite over the Colts, but big news, Jonathan Taylor, running back of the Colts, he's active today. Alex Weister, I know you're excited about that one. Who do you got, Titans or Colts?
Absolutely. You said it perfectly. Not only is he on my fantasy team, but he is a Wisconsin kid. He's looked phenomenal in years past. Now, they said he's going to be on a snap count. He wouldn't play the entire game. If he did play the entire game, that sort of would swing me towards the Colts. I think the Titans might narrowly edge this one out.
So you're going Titans. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Aiden, go for it.
I don't know, man. I thought this is one of the 3 or 4 games I thought about putting my upset on, but I have the Colts in this one. I know the Titans, blew out the Bengals, but I see the Titans is still an inconsistent team, and the Colts are playing at home, so give me the Colts.
I like the Colts also. I like what I'm seeing out of Richardson. I don't trust Tannehill and this Titans offense to have back-to-back really good games. I mean, they did it last week against the Bengals, and they looked awesome, and Derrick Henry looked pretty good. Derrick Henry will get his numbers, but, man, something about the Colts being at home, I like them just a tad bit more than the Titans.
They've looked good at home so far. They beat I know they had a close game against the Jags, and they beat the Ravens as well.
Yeah.
So
I like the Colts. All right, let's move on. This one, and let's check what the line is on this one. This one, actually, the line swung. The Patriots are a 1.5-point favorite over the Saints. The Saints are 2-2. They're on the road. They're in Foxborough. The Patriots are 1-3. They're coming off of their big blowout loss, the worst loss in Bill Belichick's career against the Cowboys. Do the Saints, as an underdog, get the win on the road in Foxborough? Alex Weister, take it away.
So, this may be a little bit of cope from me, but the Patriots are missing a couple of really key guys on that defense, and we heard a lot from the Saints coaching staff coming into this week. I think they have their backs against the wall. I think they're finally realizing that the fans are not too thrilled with how they've been doing so far. I think the Saints are finally going to put something together and manage to squeak away with a win here, and that's my upset pick.
Oh, there we go. Alex is putting it on his Saints, the upset special. I respect that. I'm going with the Saints as well. Now, remind me, is Derek Carr playing?
Yes.
Saints win, and this is why. Carr's going to have a good game on the road, and I think this is the game where everything just falls apart for the Patriots. They're going to go to 1-4. There's going to be questions about Bill Belichick's future. There's going to be questions on if the Patriots should just tank the rest of the season to try and get a Caleb Williams or something like that. This is the game where the seams just unravel for the Patriots. I got the Saints on the road. I love the Saints in this game. Aiden.
For me, yeah, give me, just because the Patriots lost Christian Gonzalez and Judon.
That too, that's huge.
Give me the Saints like 13-10 over the Patriots. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
I still think that it's going to be ugly. It's going to be a very ugly game.
Carmichael is going to Carmichael it, but give me the Saints. And I think this is going to, I know it started with the Cowboys. This is going to lead to Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots and going to be the Chargers head coach once the Chargers disappoint again this year.
Whoa.
So,
Look at that. Look at that.
Belichick to the Chargers. Putting that out there, but yeah, the Saints.
Okay, so we all got the Saints on that one. Interesting.
Marcos picked the Saints?
Marcos picked the Saints. Okay. He also did pick the Colts. So but Alex put his upset pick on the Saints. Moving on. Let's go to Eagles at Rams. I know the Eagles. Look, people have been kind of questioning the Eagles. They don't look the same. They've been struggling a little bit. But guess what? The Eagles always look like they're about to lose, especially this season. They have those moments where it's like, damn, are the Eagles actually going to lose this game? But then they come out and pull one out of their arse, and they end up winning. It's the 4-0 Eagles at the 2-2 Rams. Cooper Kupp is back for the Rams, by the way. Interesting note, but the Eagles are a 4-point favorite on the road. Aiden, Eagles or Rams?
Give me Rams. I think the Eagles have been teetering on there. I think they're about to lose a game. I think this is the game they're going to lose. Rams, even though they have a couple of losses, they've looked way better this year than they did last season. They actually have weapons now with Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams. They actually found a running back better than Cam Akers finally, thank goodness. And Cooper Kupp's going to come back, so I think that's going to catapult them. And I feel the Rams front's going to do just enough to hold on and limit the Eagles a bit.
Is this an upset special?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay,
no,
Alex Weister, you're next.
This is absolutely a trap game for the Eagles. I do think that they will find a way to get it done, but they are getting close to having one of these games not go their way.
I totally agree with you on that one. They've been, like I said, they've had those moments in each of their games where they just look like, hey, they're about to lose, but then they pull it out. I don't think they lose today, though. I think they beat the Rams on the road. I will go Eagles. Next game, the 1-3 Cincinnati Bengals are fighting for their lives against the 1-3 Josh Dobbs-led Cardinals. The Bengals are actually road favorites in Arizona. Alex Weister, you're up.
This is such a tough game, in all honesty. Josh Dobbs has been playing great for the Cardinals.
He has.
Nobody's really talking about him, by the way. He's been great.
He's been fun to watch.
But the thing is, the Bengals are still the Bengals. The names on that roster are the ones we still know and love. I cannot fully give up on this team yet. This is going to be the game that determines it, though. This is going to be the game that determines if the Bengals are really as bad as we think. I'm going to roll with the Bengals, but we'll see this game.
I agree with you. I want to give Joe Burrow and company the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they lose to the Cardinals. Will I be surprised if they do lose? Not really, based on how they've played, but I will give the Bengals the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to roll Bengals. Reluctantly, I go Bengals.
I'm the same way. I'm reluctantly going to be about this. I think the Bengals squeak it out. The Cardinals have been very competitive at home, but I just don't see the Bengals, even on the downward slope that they are on this year. I don't think they're going to fall to 1-4. So give me the Bengals.
We got a clean sweep. Marcos picked the Bengals. He also did pick the Eagles in the previous pick. Moving on, we got the Jets at the Broncos. The 1-3 Jets at the 1-3 Broncos. The Broncos are actually the home favorite by 2.5 points. Jets at Broncos. Aiden Ducker, go for it.
Okay.
I almost called you Aiden Weister.
Oh, I mean. Okay. Anyway.
Go for it.
Give me the Jets upset special.
Nice.
I think even though they lost to the Chiefs, I feel like they finally found something that they could put together and start getting, not like a run, but like start playing better consistently.
What did y'all think about the inspired effort from Zach Wilson against the Chiefs? I was actually pretty proud of that guy because he did ball out, and he did have that moment at the end of the game where he was like, I just lost us the game. Ugh, I hate it for him. I do think he plays better on the road, and I think the Jets are just a better overall team than what we've seen from the Broncos. And you know what? I hope Sean Payton continues to be miserable. I'm picking the Jets.
I mean, the Broncos, they should have lost that game to the Bears.
They should
have. So they're going to be on a little bit of a high. I think the Jets are going to come in and punch him in the mouth.
Weister.
I cannot put my faith in the Jets yet. I did like the game from Zach Wilson. Could this be a step in the right direction and he keeps it going? Maybe, but I'm not ready to bank on them yet. I'm going with the Broncos.
Wait, so you can't put your faith on the Jets, but you're going to put your faith in the Broncos?
Both of these teams suck.
I know, but I at least the Jets have shown me a little bit more winning recently.
Look, the Broncos and Jets, honest to God, it's kind of a coin flip of mid right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got to pick somebody. Moving on, is this going to be a clean sweep, or do we have questions about the Chiefs? Chiefs at Vikings. I know the Vikings are 1-3. The Chiefs are 3-1. Chiefs are favored.
Wait, I'm surprised you're picking. I thought you were going to pick Packers-Raiders.
That's next.
Oh, that's next? Oh, okay.
We got two more picks.
Okay, give me the Chiefs then. The Vikings, I had them squeaking in the playoffs, but they look like a team that's not going to make it. So give me the Chiefs.
Weister.
Yeah, this could be a trap game for the Chiefs, and they could make it a lot closer than we think. But, yeah, I got the Chiefs in this one.
Marcos has the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs as well.
Mahomes didn't have a good game against the Jets. They're going to roll that bad Vikings defense.
There we go. And Monday Night Football, this will be our last pick. Jimmy Garoppolo has just cleared concussion protocol, so he will start for the Raiders. Raiders are 1-3. Packers are 2-2. The Raiders are home favorites by 2 points. Who do we got, Aiden?
This was almost. I was really debating on this. This was almost going to be my upset pick, but give me the Packers in this one. I think the Raiders are a poorly coached team. Jimmy G. They let go of Derek Carr, right?
Yes.
And they signed Jimmy G. Is that really much of an upgrade? I don't think so. I think it's like mid. I would say they're mid, but like there's no upgrade there, basically.
I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Jimmy G for sure.
I think he's slightly better.
I've always liked Derek Carr. I'll be a Derek Carr defender, but you know what? With this being
give me the Packers, yeah.
Okay, with this being said, I'm going to go with the Raiders at home. I'm going Raiders at home. I like the Raiders in Vegas. Give me the Raiders. I like Jimmy G. I think they get it done. Weister.
This is an extremely tough one because there's two massive question marks for each team. We see that Devontae Adams is a question mark for the Raiders, and we see that Aaron Jones is a question mark for the Packers. So if neither of those play, it's a lot closer of a game. But I just can't go with the Raiders. I don't trust that team. And the Packers, they're a fun team to watch. I'm going to go with the Packers.
All righty, and that wraps up our NFL Pick'em for week number 5. Aiden has the Jets as his upset pick. Alex has the Saints as his upset pick. Marcos has the Texans upset pick, and I got the Cowboys in my upset special for tonight. Weister, you have yourself a good rest of your Sunday, my guy.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right, we'll talk later on. There goes Alex Weister. We got one more segment left for you. Stick around. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 135. James and Aiden with you. We just had our NFL Pick'em segment with Alex Weister. Love talking to Alex about our NFL Pick'em. It's Cowboys, it's 49ers, it's game day, Sunday Night Football, 6 p.m. pregame right here on News Talk KEYS. 7:25 kickoff. You can hear Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg and Christi Scales on the call tonight. Don't forget, after the game, there will be a post-game show on Keys as well, so make sure you listen to all of that. We are your home for the Cowboys. I know you want to talk about the crystal ball thing, but I do got some final predictions from some of our Cowboys fans out here. Adrian says he has some bold and over-the-top predictions. He says Cowboys dominate every facet of the game. Defense mauls Purdy to the tune of 7 sacks. Okay. Bland snags another interception. Parsons with a pick 6. Cowboys offense is cool and efficient. Cowboys 27-12. Interesting. Nick says Cowboys 16-10. Charlie, this is a good take. Charlie says it's a trap game for the 49ers. Cowboys win a close one. Us Cowboys fans buy into the hype all over again and eventually get let down when they lose to the Chargers next week. I could totally see that happening. Cody says 24-13 Cowboys. Cordero says 24-17 Cowboys. Gilbert says 38-17 Cowboys. Wow. And Aaron, last one in here, says 24-21 Cowboys. Thank you guys for weighing in this morning. I appreciate that. Aiden, what the hell happened with Mario Cristobal last night and the Miami Hurricanes?
Doing some extra good producing work because I found the theme.
What happened with Mario Cristobal?
Can you hear it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, there we go.
So last night, the Hurricanes lost to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Undefeated Miami Hurricanes. They were ranked 17th, but undefeated, right?
Undefeated, and they ended up losing, but something happened. Okay,
so they forced Georgia Tech to punt with 5 minutes left, and then they start, they convert a couple first downs, and, Georgia Tech used this last timeout with like a minute 18 to go, but Miami, they ran a couple plays so whether they can mathematically make it to where like they should kneel on 3rd down, right?
Yes.
Like it was kind of gutsy doing it on 2nd down, but they did. But now it's at a point where it's mathematically impossible for Georgia Tech to stop them.
Yeah.
If they just kneel the ball.
Just one kneel, game is over. Victory formation like any smart coach would do.
So 3rd and 10, a run is called with 36 seconds left, but the play 36 seconds left, right? And then if you kneel, the clock is still running. 40 seconds is between each play.
Game over if you kneel.
There's already it's game over. They run, and the running back gets stripped. And Georgia Tech recovers at, I think, their own 25-yard line with 26 seconds left. And 3 plays. Okay, the first play was the incompletion. But basically in 2 plays, marched 75 yards down the field. 2 blown coverages.
Yes.
Game over with 1 second left.
Mario Cristobal with one of the most clownish head coaching decisions you could ever make. Now you have a loss. Now you're going to drop in the rankings. That's an ACC loss as well, so it's a conference loss. That one hurts especially.
And this was going to be hyped up. Undefeated Miami, undefeated North Carolina coming up next week. If you're a Miami fan, you are absolutely just devastated that, and how would you feel if you're a player? Like, your coach sold the game. Like, it was one of those, like, is he in the pocket of the mafia or somebody like that?
It wasn't the player's fault. Well, maybe
You donkey!
It was the kid who fumbled's fault. I mean, he fumbled it, but still the coach put him. The objective of a coach and of a teacher is to put you in a position to succeed. And Mario Cristobal did not put them in a position to succeed.
Just kneel the ball. The game's over.
Kneel the ball, you jackwagon, you stupid idiot. What? And then also, apparently, he did this when he was an Oregon head coach back in 2018 and lost a game that way as well.
Yeah, I remember that. This is where my Mario Cristobal hate started. This is where it started from that game. Although technically Stanford could have still stopped the clock with like 10 seconds left, but still, like, I'm just glad that all my I've been proven right. Because I remember when I first started with the Sports Rush, how I would always talk crap about Cristobal. He ran screens and crossing routes with Justin Herbert as his quarterback.
Crazy. So that happened last night. Boneheaded decision of the night.
80% of the losses whenever he lost there were basically Mario Cristobal coaching blunders.
I got one Spurs note for you to end the show. The Spurs signed guard Devin Vassell to a 5-year, $146 million extension. So Vassell's going to stick around. He's going to be a part of the young core with Wemby, with Keldon Johnson, and with Jeremy Sohan. The Spurs also opened up training camp this past week. Last night they had a black versus silver scrimmage, which drew 13,000 fans to the arena in San Antonio, the Frost Bank Center, as it's now called. Devin Vassell has improved since his rookie year. He averaged 5.5 points in his rookie year, 12.3 points in his second year, and 18.5 points last year. But the knock on Devin Vassell is he tends to get injured. So a little bit of injury issues with him. But, hey, a lot of people are pretty high on Devin Vassell. I'm pretty excited about it. Spurs season does start pretty soon. And we'll have all the games for you right here on News Talk KEYS.
Yeah, and I plan on finally going to a Spurs game. I actually have never been to an NBA game in person.
Really?
Never.
Damn. I want to go to a Spurs game also. I mean, I got to see Wemby in person.
Yeah,
for sure.
I never liked the location at AT&T.
It sucks. That's why they want to put a new arena downtown where it's actually near bars and restaurants and things you could do. They have that arena out in the freaking ghetto of San Antonio on the east side. I mean, I'm just going to be real about it.
I mean, the southwest side is, too.
Well, yeah, but still.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just not
There's nothing
ideal.
There's nothing out there for a fan to enjoy other than an arena in the middle of the hood.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I used to live in San Antonio. I could say that. So there we go. That wraps up the show. Some hot takes on the arena.
You lived in the north. You lived in the northwest side.
I lived in the preppy side of San Antonio. Cowboys and 49ers tonight, 6 p.m. pregame, 7:25 kickoff, and then postgame immediately after right here on News Talk KEYS. Thank you guys for getting in. Shout out to Crossroads Clinical Research for sponsoring the show. Aiden, I love you, my guy. Good job. Whatever that was. For Adin Ducker, I am James Espinosa. No more questions. We'll talk to you next week. Let's go Cowboys.